returning to this email from the Home Office, there will inevitably be those who make false claims of possession for medical purposes. Equally, there may be cases where a proper application of the existing discretion available to both the police and Crown Prosecution Service means that prosecution is not brought. Well, considering there's 5 people going through court at the moment who are helping people with MS by providing them with cannabis, and it's obvious that that's what they're doing because they publicised the fact for several years that they're doing it. Why should the Crown Prosecution Service deem it fitting that they should be persecuted, not prosecuted, but persecuted for what they're doing? 2 of them that I know of do have MS as well. One's a very nice lady and one's a very nice bloke. But the thing is, they're still bringing prosecutions against these people, even when it's obvious that they're performing a function which is beneficial to the people that they're giving the medication to, cannabis to. The email goes on to say, and where cases are prosecuted, it is for the court to decide guilt. Well, I did mention this, I remember me saying it in the last one. But it's not for the courts to decide guilt, it's up to the jury, surely. And where if a conviction ensues, sentence taking into account, as they do, all the circumstances of the offence and the defendant. And where a conviction ensues, sentence taking into account, as they do, all the circumstances of the offence and the defendant. Do they? That's the question, again. The government view is that cannabis is and will remain a controlled illicit drug for good reasons. Where's the control when 3 million people regularly, daily use cannabis? There is no control, and I've been there before. Cannabis has a number of acute and chronic side effects, and prolonged use can deplete. I've been all through this, so I'm not going to do it in the last one. Whilst the government has no intention of legalising the use of cannabis in its raw form for medical purposes, we have said that we would seek Parliament's agreement to make any necessary changes to the law to enable the prescription of cannabis-based medicine. I'm talking to myself, because nobody's listening. Nobody cares. It's alright, it was the wife shouting me. But I've been through all this, I seem to remember on the last one. So I'm not going to go into that again. And sorry for boring everybody. That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, isn't it? I talked about Myra Sativex as well, and the fact that Sativex is GW Pharmaceuticals is exporting Sativex to Canada, and English people, British people I should say, can get a licence off the Home Office to import it back, which seems a little bit ridiculous really, because we're trying to save fuel on transporting anything, anywhere. Well, that's about it, isn't it? That's all that they're saying. They're not going to decriminalise it, they're not going to legalise it, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to let people carry on smoking these things, cigarettes, killing themselves with it because they're addicted to it, and You know, when I grew my own in my back garden several years ago, I just smoked the leaves neat, really, and that didn't seem to have any bad effect on me whatsoever. And at least I gave up tobacco. But they don't want us to give up tobacco, do they? Because of the money that they get for it. It's an agony. Prohibition, what an agony. The nicotine sticker's gone out. Sod it. I am fed up with their lack of public education as far as cannabis is concerned. And I'm going to diversify now and talk about Palestine and Israel and the Lebanon. Why not? How long has it been going on for? Thousands of years. And ever since Israel became a nation state again, you know, why should these people have a nation state? Just because they were exterminated in Europe, or you know, or there was an attempted extermination in Europe of them, 60 years ago. Why should they have a nation state? The British haven't got a nation state anymore. The French haven't got a nation state anymore. You know, so why should they have a nation state? It's an insanity. And because Israel was given their state in 1947, we have the wars over and over and over again. And who are those wars funded by? They're funded by the USA, and we all know it, and we all take no notice of it, don't we? We just let it all carry on. But what can we do about it? Okay? What can we do about it? Just sitting moaning and saying to ourselves, there's nothing I can do about it, is there? All we can do is moan. But the problem is, Israel has nuclear weapons, and I honestly believe and think that the USA is absolutely terrified of them pressing the button over there. It's one of the reasons Iran probably wants nuclear weapons, so that they can balance the situation out a bit. But nuclear, any form of nuclear, is a waste of time. There's enough landmass to produce enough hemp to produce the fuel to fuel the planet. And anybody that says there isn't is they're the ones that are living in cloud cuckoo land. They are. Because there is enough land to produce enough hemp to produce enough biomass fuel. And it would be good for the environment, because hemp photosynthesizes. So the thing is, it's all you out there on YouTube. I mean, none of you actually really bother coming to say anything to me or watch the videos or anything. What is it? I don't know, 200 odd have watched THC for MS cannabis chocolate, and God knows how many of them have bothered to sign the petition. The government chooses to allow, what is it, 20 million people to smoke tobacco. And they say, it's bad for you. And it is. But why is it bad for you? Is it just the tobacco that's bad for you, or is it due to the fact that 10 minutes are up